Hi, and welcome back to The Soup. I'm your host for the trip through the miasma of Washington, D.C. I'm Brian Karem, longtime White House correspondent, and I'm here today because, boy, it's been a crazy week so far, hasn't it? I mean, come on, just a little bit. Now, I know everyone wants to blame Donald Trump, but I can't even blame him for all the craziness that predates that nattering nabob of narcissism. Let's start with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She put out a tweet this week saying that she loves America and how happy she is to be an American. And then she told us her television is spying on her. Can't make that up. Here's the tweet. Now, it's not just Marjorie Taylor Greene that's kind of nuts. There's a lot of people. Let's take a look at Ron DeSantis. He shows up in San Francisco for 20 minutes and says there's all kinds of fentanyl going on and there's homeless people running around loose and crazy. He's been in town 20 minutes and he's describing Orlando or Miami. You didn't have to go to San Francisco to see fentanyl or homeless people, but he did. And then, of course, he shows up at Eagle Pass over the weekend and claims that if they're going to bore a hole, drug dealers, again, he's on fentanyl, or he's talking about fentanyl. He says that if drug dealers are going to scale the wall or drill through the wall that doesn't exist and that drug dealers don't use, by the way, they use the very same ports of entry that we use. They just hide their drugs. It's less expensive that way. And these people are, if nothing else, capitalists. Anyway, he says that he's going to shoot them dead. Man, you just can't get crazier than Ron DeSantis. Unless, of course, you're a 69-year-old guy who gargles razor blades and your name is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So Robert Kennedy Jr. decides that he's running for president and he's going to debate Joe Biden, which will never happen because, incumbents rarely bother to debate those running against him in their own party. Nonetheless, he's preparing for his debate with Joe Biden by doing push-ups. Why? Nobody has any idea. It has nothing to do with the debate. Maybe what's coming next is a cage fight. Maybe we can get Joe Rogan and Robert Kennedy Jr. to be involved in a cage fight, and the winner gets to lose to Joe Biden. Anyway, it gets even crazy. The real craziness, the craziest thing is Rudy Giuliani's hemorrhaging, hair dye because he thinks he's going to get indicted. And here, take a look at Donald Trump over the weekend. Yeah, I have no idea what he's doing there. I mean, is he constipated? I don't know. That's crazy. But of course, the craziest thing happened in Russia this week. The head of the Wagner Group, by the way, these are the very same people who ran the troll farms, who tried to help out Donald Trump in the 2016 election against Hillary Clinton, and they're mentioned in the Mueller report. So there's the backstory. The head of the Wagner Group turned on Vladimir Putin. Well, first turned on his generals and then turned on Vlad and said, hey, this war stinks. I'm done. So he turned his army of 50,000 people around, marched toward Moscow, captured a couple cities, shot down some Russian aircraft, and then boom, before you know it, he's taking a trip to Belarus. No proof of life here. We haven't seen him since that announcement, but maybe he's okay. But if I were Prigozhin, I would, Prigozhin, whatever his name is, if I were him, the head of the Wagner Group, and you're in Belarus, I would say stay away from the balconies, have a food taste tester, and whatever you do, don't get in a car and drive anywhere. But Vladimir Putin lost face this week badly. And the biggest craziness of all is watching the Trump people say that our president, Joe Biden, A, has dementia, but B, he's bright enough to work with the CIA and the Wagner Group to bring down Putin. It makes no sense. It's as crazy as it gets. And we're headed into an election where the craziness is going to compound and get worse. But let's take a look as we close with a couple of facts. The piece of diplomacy that President Biden put together to stand against Russia is working. They are isolated. The Chinese aren't happy with him. No one else in the world is happy with him. And what you saw this weekend was a reaction to a successful policy by an American president. I can fault Joe Biden for many things, but on the international stage, he beat, or so far has beaten, Vladimir Putin. But the craziness will continue. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. I'm Brian Karem. You can catch me at Brian Karem on Twitter and all social media. The name of the book is called Free the Press. And you can also catch me weekly at rollcall.com with a column. And always Just Ask the Question is the podcast, wherever fine podcasts are sold. So thank you. Take it easy, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.